the Siser Juliet has been out for a while already, and when my Cameo 4 broke back in April, I was umming and ahhing about whether to upgrade to a Juliet. I decided not to in the end because I just didn't have the time to learn a whole new machine and design software. And I was so right, my decal business was so busy this summer, I don't think I would have been able to fit it in. But it's quietened down a bit now, plus my FOMO has reached its limit. So I decided to sell my old Cameo, which got fixed, and swap it out for this babe. I do still have my newest pink Cameo though. I'm not turning my back on silhouette yet. So I thought I would just bring you along for the unboxing of my new Siser Juliet and give you my first thoughts on it. I will mostly be using it for my decals, so I thought it would be helpful for anyone else considering it for their decal business. But I also have heard that it is super accurate when it comes to sticker making as well. I also haven't seen many people in the UK with one yet. All of the unboxing videos I've seen so far have been in the US. So if you're from the UK and you're considering buying one, I got mine from Hobbycraft and their customer service was really good. It is more expensive than my Cricut Air and my Cameo 4, but it is apparently supposed to be the machine that is in between a craft cutter and a more professional cutting machine. So that is what made me buy it. So let's have a look. Siser is Italian, so they have really fun Leonardo da Vinci drawings all over the box. And in the top here you get this little sleek black box containing all of the little extra bits that you need. It's really well packaged and secure. It includes a 12x12 high tack cutting mat and some samples. Just be careful, it is quite heavy. And be careful not to touch the machine if you're using scissors like me. It was so satisfying to take that plastic off. And it's a fairly large machine, but it doesn't look like it from this angle, but it does fit alongside my Cameo 4 on that table. So you just need to take the foam bits out, but also push down the lever at the back and take out those white plastic bits that are in front of the rollers. I didn't do this at this point, but I should have. And then in your black boxes, you've got the plug, documentation, your blades, etc. So just going to start by plugging in the plug to the adapter bit with the UK plug and then plugging it into the back. This is where I had some issues though. I did everything right and it would not turn on. So I figured I had a plug issue.
Some time later.
And I did get in touch with Hobbycraft, who got in touch with Siser, and they sent me a replacement plug, but they only sent half of it, so it still wasn't working. I'm guessing it was the other half that was broken. So I had to take it into the Hobbycraft store in the end. And they got me all sorted, all was fine. And there it is, working perfectly now. So I'm just peeling that last little bit off. And the first thing I did was set up my Wi-Fi. If you click that button, it should come up with your Wi-Fi box. You just need to add your password. And once it's set up, you'll have full bars in that top left-hand corner there. And then I would recommend getting used to the lever at the back after this, just as it feels a little bit counterintuitive. So you push the lever down to pull the rollers up, and then you pull it towards you like so to push them back down again, and there'll be no room underneath. And so I'm going to add the blade in next. So this is what comes in the accessories box. Get an adapter, blade holder, and 3 different blades. So just going to get my blade out, be careful, take the red plastic bit off and just pop it in the hole there, just using the standard blade. And then you use the gold bar to loosen it and the silver one to kind of move it in and out. And you want to get it as thin as a credit card, I heard someone say. But if you've used other machines, you should roughly know kind of how much it needs to poke out. Once you've got it to where you're happy with it, using that silver one, just tighten up the gold bar again, and that will hold it in place. And then to put it in the machine, you unscrew that silver cap and then you push it down until the red bit that's sticking out is under the black plastic, and then screw it in again until it's secure. Just make sure it's definitely locked in there nice and tightly. Then there's also various other settings you can play with on here. There's general settings. You can turn the LED light down, or you can switch it off altogether. You can put alerts on that let you know when your cut is finished. You can change the sleep mode just when the screen goes off, change the unit between metric and imperial, and the camera is for when you do print and cut to line up your print cut. But now having a look at the software, it's called Leonardo Design Studio and you can get it from the Siser website for both Windows and Mac. Here are the software specifications and different features of everything it can do. So it will only cut SVGs, but for print and cut you can upload JPEGs and PNGs. So when you go into the software, it has a big design library, it actually has a lot of free files, but you can also sign up for a subscription. I'm not sure how much it is to get access to more files. And then it also has this section which gives you some tips on how to cut and apply some of the Siser Easy Weed material and other materials that they sell. But I'm just going to start off by doing a simple design and cutting it in vinyl. So I'm just going to open that design. It takes you straight to the canvas and you can switch between either cutting on a mat or cutting using a roll of material and just feeding that straight in the machine. So usually with most machines you would put your design up in the top left corner here, but with this one you actually put it in the bottom corner, and that's because it feeds a little bit differently. So I'm just going to send this design. There's a few different options. I'm just going to keep it on the ones that are selected initially. Don't want to make this too complicated. Send it, and that is the outlines that are going to be cut in vinyl. I'm not actually connected to my machine yet, so if you click the connect button in the top right, it'll take you to this box, and you need to get the IP address that is on your machine in the Wi-Fi settings and copy it into here, and that should connect them. So you can see now in the top right they are connected. There's also an option to do an auto weed box. That'll put a box around your design. You can flip them, mirror them. You can change the different tools. And you can also select different parts, move them around. So here are the sample pieces that came with the mat. These are just bits of Easy Weed HTV and a cover sheet, I think. But I'm just going to be using a bit of scrap black, adhesive vinyl, popping it on the mat. And then I'm going to lift my rollers up. So you do that, remember, by pushing down, and that means you can feed the mat through and underneath, and you want to feed it all the way through so that your blade is lined up with the bottom left corner. Once you're happy with where it is, you can again pull the lever up to secure your rollers, and the mat shouldn't move at all. You can move it again using the arrow buttons, of course. So I'm just going to select one of the preloaded settings, so they have quite a few in here for different Siser materials. But because I'm using permanent vinyl, it's a bit thinner than HTV. I'm going to put the force down to 8. Then I'm going to just press the test cut button and it'll do a little test there. So see what that looks like and pull it up. It has cut very well, hasn't went through the paper. So I'm just going to try that with these bats. You should have the use cutters settings ticked. I don't know why I didn't there, but you just send to cutter, press yes, and it will send it directly to the machine to cut. Here, however, I didn't have the vinyl lined up very well. I had the blade too far up, so it's actually cut off the vinyl. You can see there just, and it wasn't very lined up at all. So I'm going to have to go back and add a new piece of black vinyl. I'm going to line it up again and make sure that blade is right in the bottom left. So I'm using the arrow buttons on the screen to line it up this time. Get it right in that bottom corner. And you can hear there the machine, it's hard to hear on camera, but it is way quieter than my Cameo for sure. It's not too noisy at all. And that has made such a better cut. You can see there. Again, I could have probably placed it a little bit further down. Still quite high, but weeds like a dream. Really impressed with that. Obviously, I need to do a load more practicing, especially with bulk vinyl rolls, which is what I'm hoping to use with it. But so far so good, despite the hiccup of the first machine I got not working. But I have to say that Hobbycraft were super helpful. Their customer service is really good. So I am planning to do a comparison video all about Cricut versus Silhouette versus Siser once I've used my Juliet a bit more. So let me know if there's anything in particular you want me to compare, and please don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss that video. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching, and please give the video a like if you enjoyed it.